Let's look at this issue in more detail with Shachi Irde. She is Executive Director at Catalyst India. That is a not-for-profit organization that aims to expand opportunities for women and business. She joins me from Bangalore, India. Thanks so much for being on with us today. I'm curious, how do you feel about the issue of the quotas in the boardroom? Do you feel that that's the right way to at least start to address the gender imbalance?
First and foremost, we have seen that time alone has not been able to solve the problem of getting more women CEOs or women on board. Hence, the approach towards quota is another option that companies have got to fulfill their promise to have diverse workforce in their entire organization. So I'm very optimistic you will see a lot of inclusive leaders really hiring the relevant or qualified women on boards to ensure that the governance is better, innovation is increased, they are also able to reach larger markets, thus improving the wealth generation for its shareholders and people in practice.
You mentioned the magic word, didn't you? And that is well-qualified women. Anytime we have a conversation about quotas, you always seem to have a debate. Some believe at least it's the start or it's a beginning to change the tone. And other people worry that you're just going to get them loaded up, as we mentioned in the intro, with relatives, with token females who don't really bring the expertise needed and don't really advance the idea of working women.
See, as long as they are competent women appointed on boards, it is fine, whether they are relatives or not related to the board folks or the owners of the organization. What becomes a challenge is when these token women are ineffective and do not contribute to the goodness of the organization. So care must be taken that even while appointing family members, whether it is wives or sisters or cousins or whoever, they have to be qualified, their values and culture must match to the organization's ability to take it forward.
Shachi, we mentioned overall India is sort of bucking the trend we're seeing, and there are fewer women entering the workforce. Why is that? What are the factors that are creating that situation?
So there are few cultural challenges, and also there are few legislative challenges that we see hampering the women entering the workforce. If you actually look at some of the industries, the women entering that workforce is almost as equal to as men. But unfortunately, as they move from the junior management to mid-management tier, you see a strong dropout. And that is where it is challenging for organizations to focus on retaining them, developing them, and showing them what their organization can do to get their career aspirations going high. So if I look at the legislative, there are few laws which prohibit women from working at all hours. And that definitely is not a competitive advantage for a woman. Secondly, the safety and the safety from the workplace to the offices has been challenged in recent times, and organizations are putting in a lot of policies around how they can manage this situation. Lastly, the prevention of sexual harassment in the workplace policy came into effect only last year, and there are still many organizations who need to implement that and practice that in principle rather than only on paper. These are some challenges which make a woman think twice about getting into some of the workforces or some of the organizations. And culturally, India has been known to have women as primary caregivers and men as primary bread earners. This again hampers things for a woman to continue her career after joining the organization.
Absolutely. And those are challenges that we see women facing no matter where they live. Shachi Irde, thank you so much for joining us from Catalyst today.